Hey guys, welcome to another commentary track. This is Tyler here. I'm very excited to be talking about this next movie today. It's going to be called The Pagemaster, old animated film I used to watch a lot. In order to make sure you are syncing up this commentary track with the movie itself, you're going to want to get past the Fox Century Pictures logo. So once that all does its thing and it's going to fade to black, and then the movie's going to have some nice music, you're going to see 20th Century Fox Presents in nice storybook font. Once that font completely goes away, press play. But for now, press pause. David Kirshner. I don't think that name's familiar to me in any way. But we got Macaulay Culkin as the lead. It's a really fun movie for him. It's pretty much right after all the Home Alone stuff, I would imagine. And then Christopher Lloyd as well. And I think they get top billing because they're like the only human characters. Everything else is animated. But Christopher Lloyd does do a couple voices, I think, for the animated characters as well. And the movie opens with this really, really nice cloud scene. It's kind of showing you all the stuff you're going to be witnessing in the movie. So you got the pirate ship, you got the haunted house right here. Haunted house is probably the scariest part of this movie. And the big finale with the dragon there. Great music throughout the movie too. I'm kind of curious if that credit will pop up for musical score. And his room is just kind of full of. That's a funny joke. Yeah, he's a like a safety freak. So yeah, he's got all kinds of safety measures around his house. Yeah, and here you got the animated characters. So you got Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Stewart, and I think the other one is Frank. Yeah, Frank Welker. He's a very, very well known voice actor for Disney and all kinds of stuff. If you looked up his credits, you would see probably 100 things you would recognize him from. Ed Begley Jr. Yeah, the kid is such a square. Even his parents are like, man, this kid fucking sucks. James Horner, that makes a lot of sense. James Horner has some good, like, fantasy musical scores. I kind of feel bad for the dad because he's trying to connect with his kid and he has no way to do it, but maybe take him to, like, a safety seminar. Take him to a big convention where they show off smoke detectors and the newest first aid kits. I'm sure he would love it. Pretty dope treehouse, I gotta say. Maybe untuck your shirt and undo some buttons. Don't be such a square kid. Can't argue with statistics, Dad. I know that line's coming up. I just remember that. Yeah, I would give up on this kid trying to do anything cool for him. he's freaking out, and I don't think I understood why as a kid. Like I didn't understand he's just afraid to go anywhere. Like even the down the street to the hardware store, he can't even do that. Joe Johnson Johnston is another familiar name to me. I'd have to look him up to see what he's done. And they make fun of him for having this bike, but I remember kind of wanting one as a kid. It's pretty badass looking. Yeah, I don't like them picking on somebody with my name. Feels like these kids are personally attacking me, and it's making me uneasy. Pretty cool effect, but electricity works a lot faster than that. All of them would have blown at once. Man, it is coming down. It looks like it's hailing almost. Way to go, Klutz. You're all about safety and you crash. This is all pretty cool. I mean, this is all pretty cool looking. They got a really good storm. This is all pretty quickly touched on and moved on from, though. So the real movie starts when he gets sucked into library world. Even in the 90s, I don't think libraries were this empty and spooky. I've never seen a library look like this. And yeah, Christopher Lloyd, you can't really say much about him. He's great in everything he does. Just that moment there when he's just looking at the kid is you can tell so much is going on in his mind. And again, this is a little bit more foreshadowing of all the things that he's going to run into when he gets into the stories. I'll be able to get into it a little bit later when those scenes come up, but for being a kids movie, I remember this being very, very spooky and scaring me a lot when I was growing up. I'm excited to get to those scenes. You do now. You're my first guest in 3 weeks. How do you guys feel about people with two first names? Richard, Tyler. Get a last name, bro. Too good to read, huh? You're one of them TV kids, aren't you? I wonder if that's kind of like a small commentary they're trying to make with this movie is kids today just watch TV and play video games. They're not going to libraries to read books and broaden their minds. But hey, if the book is going to get a movie, why would I read the book? Very cool library though. I would definitely check this place out if I knew where it was. Imagine if this was all a set that they built and they brought in all these books and bookshelves. I mean, it kind of does look like it could just be a set that they built, but I don't know. This looks like a set. I've never seen a library with this. And if they did have a big open section like this in a library, there'd be tables and seats everywhere so people could sit down and read. It wouldn't be a giant open floor plan like this. Unless you're trying to do a big, cool set piece design or set piece scene where you get like paint going everywhere, then yeah, have a big open space. That's the scariest part of the movie. The Jekyll and Mr. Hyde stuff. This movie does a lot of foreshadowing, just like, hey, you're gonna see all this stuff. You're gonna see pirates, you're gonna see dragons, you're gonna see haunted houses. We set it up 3 times now. I have vivid memories of reenacting this scene in my bedroom all the time. Just imagining like all this paint coming at you and running away from it. It's a very cool effect that they do here with all the paint dripping. That not so much. That doesn't look as great. Yeah, it's not the coolest CG effect right now, but for what it's going for, it works. It's very cartoony, it's very kiddie, and very scary. Because as bad as the gloopiness looks, all the color flowing together looks really good. And it's kind of turning everything cartoon that it touches. And just like Wizard of Oz going black and white into color, we are going live action into full 2D animation. The titular Pagemaster. Christopher Lloyd still killing it with his performance, even though it's just his voice. The only way. So yeah, that must have been a page from Jack and the Beanstalk, I'm guessing. And then that could be the Odyssey. Who the fuck knows? The story really lends itself to a video game format too. I know this had a huge video game tie-in, but the fact that you got to do like the different levels and complete different challenges to get to the end. Got King Arthur, Robin Hood, Snow Queen. I'm just gonna try to pick out as many literary references as I can. I'm trying to place whose voice this is. Is this the Patrick Stewart character? Man, I cannot picture him doing this voice, but that is definitely him. He must be having a blast in that voiceover booth. I gotta look it up and make sure that that's actually Patrick Stewart. Because I know fantasy is Whoopi Goldberg, and I'm pretty sure horror must be, yeah, the Frank Welker. And yeah, adventure, Patrick Stewart. I've never heard Patrick Stewart sound like this before in my life. Other than whenever I watch this movie, of course. Ooh, I'm naked. Oh yeah, Kidnapped. There's a whole book on Kidnapped. Yeah, this movie is so cool the way that they can just have fun with stories like this. Another book called Kidnapped, and I also saw Wizard of Oz on that one. Yeah, I love that they are able to grab a book and grab something out of the book. It's very, very cool. So you have Patrick Stewart doing an almost unrecognizable performance as Adventure, and then you got Whoopi Goldberg being Whoopi Goldberg for fantasy. Get joke. That's what they all say. There's some fun literary puns in this movie. Calling him a short story. Oh, what is he gonna use his pages for? Her pages for? The obvious would be wiping his ass, but you never know. They need to work on the organization of the library here. I just saw Cinderella next to like war stories. Actually, guys, I don't read, and I wasn't planning on checking out any books. Most of these books I've never heard of. Red-Headed League, Silver something. But yeah, and those are all next to Hound of Baskervilles. What is the? Where's the uh, organization here, guys? Come on. You got a horror book next to some fantasy stuff. Yeah, this part is uber creepy, very scary for a young child to be watching growing up. There's one scene in particular that I couldn't even watch. I had to make sure I was covering my eyes or looking away from the screen. I'll let you know when it comes up. That happened a lot for me when I was a kid. There were just the stuff that would like pop at the screen towards you. Multiple movies did that when I was growing up, and I had to avoid those specific moments. There's one here. There's one in The Great Mouse Detective. I know I had to cover my eyes for. I like that. I like that detail that Mr. Hyde has just been carved in. And this is a really cool part of the movie too. I like when they have to go through different worlds. So you got the horror world, then they go to the adventure stuff, and you get really cool adventure scenes. So yeah, the voice of horror there is Frank Welker. He's done like Pete from Goofy Movie. He's done, I think he did Ed, the hyena in Lion King. He's done 1,000 small characters, and he specializes in doing this kind of stuff. He's doing all of those with his mouth. He's making all of those sounds. That is his specialty. He is a weird sound effect kind of guy for monsters and animals. And they do a great job showing you the different look of each book. Like horror looks like a horror book. He's all like Igor looking. Adventure is just a pirate, and then yeah, fantasy's got her glass slippers, very fairy like princess. you know exactly who they represent. Great little Edgar Allan Poe Raven reference there. And then you got Leonard Nimoy voicing Dr. Jekyll. I was gonna say this is a weird casting of the two Star Trek characters, but I just realized Leonard Nimoy is the series before Patrick Stewart stepped in, so they weren't even on the same show. I was thinking it'd be like a little reunion for him, but nope. They were separated by a few decades on that show. And I haven't really talked about it yet, so I might as well talk about it here. The 2D animation in this movie is insanely good. Yeah, this whole setup and like the tension building. Yeah, this was the scary part for me growing up. Ugh, it's so scary, man. I know it's a kids movie, but Jesus. Yeah, it's it is so embarrassingly not scary now, but him saying I'm Mr. Hyde and looking at the camera like that scared the shit out of me. Oh man. And I think that's a Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame reference. God, that is so scary, man. This is another terrifying shot. You're useless, Richard Tyler. It's not the main focus, but it is definitely the point of the story is that he is kind of getting over all of these fears. It's just very slow at the beginning. He just kind of becomes heroic at the end. Ooh, I saw The Shining. Yeah, The Shining, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Exorcist. That's so cool. This is a cool section. Salem's Lot. Ghost stories. Such a cool idea. Yeah, that's a fun idea. That all the ghost stories are in a section and they have literal ghosts coming out of them. Who remembers this level in the video game? Having a platform around this castle. I'm pretty sure my VHS tape of this movie had a trailer for the video game. So yeah, that was like his first thing, and it's kind of just a quick like Obi-Wan used the Force Luke, and he does it, and then I'm braver. I feel braver now. Okay, sure. But I also can totally empathize with that because I am the same way as him, where I'm very timid to do things until you just have to do it. Once you do it and you realize you can do it, then you're fine. It's the fear of not being able to do something that really holds you back. Like, I love motorcycles. I would love to ride a motorcycle someday, but I don't think I ever will because the fear of actually doing it terrifies me. That looks great. Little, kind of like a little mermaid thing. Was thinking. I just remember that line is coming up pretty soon. Coming up in a sec. Frank Welker just has such a good voice. Every line he says is memorable in some way just because of the way it sounds. We're thinking. Yeah, this is where the movie starts going. It's just one cool storybook set piece into another. This one is so scary. I feel like they did it on purpose of like the bridge gap between horror and adventure because this scene is also way too creepy. I love the animation on that face. That is such a doof look. I need to get that as a reaction gif. The white whale. Hey, you can't say that in a kids movie, bro. Oh man, look at the way that the animation changes here. It is so good. And he looks terrifying. And he's using the actual dialogue from the story. Yeah, perfect. And here's another here coming up right now. This is oof. Another shot that's way too scary. Gives me my fear of deep ocean. Like, that is fuck, dude. That is way too scary. That is my ultimate fear of having a giant thing swimming up at you from under the water. God, I am getting the heebie-jeebies still thinking about that shot. Now let's hurry up and get out of this deep water stuff. I'm freaking out over here, man. I know nothing else happens, but just thinking of like deep depth, deep ocean depth horror is definitely one of those believers that there's a probably a Cthulhu-esque monster living at the bottom of the ocean. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't recommend looking it up. It will give you nightmares. Oh, thank God, sharks. Sharks I can deal with. If a shark's coming at you in the water, just punch it in the nose or the gills. That's a fun line. Not all the sharks are in the water. Pirates. Yeah, we're right out of Moby Dick and right into Treasure Island. Unintentional, too, that I did this movie that features Treasure Island so quickly after doing Muppet Treasure Island. But hey, like I said, I love a good swashbuckle. Maybe I'll do Treasure Planet going forward and just every iteration of Treasure Island that I can find. I'll just make that a regular story that I do. If you haven't watched it, the Black Sails TV show is super good. It's also the Treasure Island story, but it's a prequel. It's all about Captain Flint and Long John Silver before they get the gold. And then that's another Frank Welker performance right there. And this is closer to his Pete voice from Goofy Movie. This is kind of what his voice would most sound like, I think, to people who would recognize him. Oh, the other line that just popped in my head because of his voice, it's from Hercules. He's the big centaur, and he says, step aside, two legs. Yeah, his voice is iconic. I don't think you could watch a Disney cartoon and not hear his voice in something as a character. Even in Aladdin, I think he's the voice of Raja, the tiger. Oh, the nail his dad gave him, that's funny. Money, he says. And it's cool. He's kind of just become the Jim Hawkins. Where's the Jim Hawkins from the story? Man, the animation on these pirates is great. They're like straight out of Peter Pan or something. What a dumb map. There are thousands of trees on this island, Long John. What the fuck are you talking about? Man, they really touch on the fact that pirates are superstitious in this story. It's I didn't realize it was so crucial. Eat his parrot. Let's kill him and eat his parrot. Man, they're really doing like the whole thing. Yeah, I didn't realize the scene went on and it does like the whole story of them getting to the island, not finding the treasure, turning on John Silver. I appreciate Whoopi Goldberg, but when they cast her and stuff, it really is just so that she can play Whoopi Goldberg. And she's doing her voice in this, and she's doing her voice in Lion King as the hyena. Shenzi? Don't ask me why I know that. This movie needs more of this. It For being a kids movie, it needs way more slapstick stuff. I was kind of thinking about that when they were digging up the treasure, and it was just this is just like a scene from Treasure Island. There's nothing that's making it different for this movie. There's no goofiness. He's getting braver. Hmm. Curious who did the parrot. I wouldn't be surprised if that's also Frank Walker doing the parrot. And since it's the first movie I've done a commentary track that features my name, I'll just go out and say it. Movies that have my name in it really take me out. It's I don't know if that happens to you if you hear your name in a movie, but when I hear Tyler in a movie, I'm just like, oh, well, I don't even know that many Tylers in real life. It's hard for me to believe that a character in a movie is named Tyler. Yeah, Patrick Stewart is completely disappearing in this role. Even though I know it's him, I'm not even I can't even pay attention to it really because it's just Adventure the Storybook Pirate. I'm trying to think if Patrick Stewart has done voiceover work in other movies because he has an act for it. He's really good. Hmm. I'll have to look that up. If anything sticks out, maybe I'll do a commentary track for that in the future. That's a pretty slow part of the movie right now. I'll look it up. you signed up for one without having one. I'm pretty sure you can just get another one, bro. It's not the end of the world. Okay, I am seeing some voiceover work for Patrick Stewart. Nothing that I would want to watch. Ice Age, Continental Drift, Romeo and Juliet. Oof. But that's cool. It's good for him to be able to branch out like that. It's a very rare talent for actors to be able to also voice act well. That's just how good he is. Awesome. That drawing of the little village looks so cool. Little Gulliver's Travels for people unaware. But who hasn't seen the Jack Black movie? Yeah, they get to have a lot of fun with the literary references. I think I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, the fact that they can just have all these cool little reference scenes and make a little fun joke about it. Yeah, I don't know why you thought he was dead. Can you even kill a book? Burn it, maybe. Ugh. Don't think about. I don't want to think about that. Fun little adventure section and on to fantasy, which is very similar to adventure in my mind, but I see the difference that they're making where this is the more storybook fantasy adventure stuff, not pirates and open sea adventure. Oh yeah, this is weird. This is a little weird scene where we're gonna watch a little music video. It's a good song, and it'll be a good time to just kind of focus on the animation and appreciate all the little details that they throw in. Yeah, I like this a lot. It looks very very cool. An electric fairy looks like Fantasia. Oh, and that the vocals on the song are great. I don't know if it fits necessarily with the scene, but it is a great song. Oh, Humpty fell. There's that great tweet. It's like the exchange with the king where he's like, "Sir, Humpty Dumpty fell. Who? We're expecting all your horse and all the king's men to go put him back together. What? Okay. I did not do that justice. Let me look it up. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh wait, here it is. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. King. Who? The big egg guy? The what? We need all your horses and men to put him back together. Okay. And then King turns and whispers to advisor, what the fuck is going on? Because, yeah, what the fuck is going on in that story, man? Can you imagine just being a king doing your duties and somebody's telling you the egg guy fell over and broke? Oh, yeah, I missed the dragon transformation. See, that's cool. Being able to tear the page out of Arabian Nights and get the magic carpet. And I guess the joke being she had him turn to page 1001 because it's Arabian Nights is like 1001 stories or something. I just know that number is relevant to that storybook. Yeah, dude just ate her wand, brah. Atlas shrugged. Great reference. That's gonna go over so many people's heads. See, I would imagine this is also an adventure kind of story, but I get it. It's knights and dragons, so it's more fantasy, but fantasy and adventure kind of go hand in hand most of the time. I mean, in Dungeons and Dragons, you're an adventuring party, and that's all fantasy. And maybe that's why they work so well together, because they're practically the same. No one wants to kiss horror, though. That is just, that face looks busted. Yep, he's right behind me, isn't he? That was such an ADR line. That book did not say that at all. Now he's fully brave. Makes you wonder if part of his skull is still in that helmet. This is some Dark Souls looking shit right here. Like, bro, you got to get your strength up. You're gonna need more dex if you're gonna try to take out a dragon. Plus, you have no items. You're This is a fight destined to lose. Yep. Yeah, and then cut in the "you died" text screen from Dark Souls there. And you know the run up back to the top of that tower is a pain in the ass to get your souls back. Is it supposed to have that little bend in it? Or did that happen because he fell on it? I can't remember what it looked like at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, fun. I remember that happening earlier in the movie though. Didn't realize it happened here. Smart kid. But also he could have opened Alice in Wonderland and picked the little treats that make you huge. That would have worked also. And just punch his way out of the dragon's stomach. See, that wouldn't be happening if you had gone my plan, become huge, and punch the dragon to death. Boy, didn't really feel like a climax, but that was the end of the movie, huh? He outsmarted the dragon, but there was no. He didn't beat the dragon. Saved his friends. I don't. He's. I guess the whole point was he has overcome his fears by this point. He is no longer the scared loser from the beginning of the movie. That eye patch must be very annoying to get stuck on the edge of a book like that. A slave? Don't be tossing that word around so lightly, Tyler. You are a cabin boy. Slave is a very, very strong word, bro. The journey is the point, it's not the destination. Not really. He kind of got rocked by Moby Dick. Yeah, this is the big wrap up where you're supposed to realize, oh, he was growing as a person the whole time. Duh. Oh wow, the back of his little tunic has a book spine. I didn't even notice. For an extra literary reference, they should throw in the Wicked Witch of the West in that tornado. Yeah, I wish I had an adventure like that as a kid. That would have been amazing. I pretended I did in my room all the time. Where's your jacket? Man, this stupid kids movie actually got me choked up a little bit right now. Yeah, that was a really nice, cute scene to wrap up everything. Oh, he's finally gonna do it. Overcome my fears. And I gotta give more credit to Macaulay Culkin or the character because I would never do this. I tried to bike jump as I was probably like 13, 14, wrecked so hard, never tried it again. Yeah, as a parent, I'd be questioning the fact that my kid was missing all day and now he has a drastic personality change. Like, what? What happened, dude? Do you have an okay day? Something happened? They wake up the next morning, he accidentally rolled out and broke his neck. He earned his father's respect. Finally. Good job, Richard. You're not a total square now. I like this little wrap up. It's a little cute detail. It makes no sense because the light source is the lantern there and they're casting a shadow on the wall, so where the hell are they? Maybe it's just the book's spirit talking, not the actual books have come to life. And that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed that watch along with Pagemaster. I enjoyed doing the commentary track for you guys. If you have any other movies you would want to maybe see a commentary track for in the future, please comment down below. Um, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. We'll see you later. Bye.